had an elementary workshop. Why I chose to share about this is, so I've been doing the literacy as the literacy space for almost a year now, and this was something we thought of doing like in term 2, right? We thought of doing like a literacy day or lit fest and like hype up things just around literacy, and we planned for it also, but it didn't happen. We didn't execute it, and we were somewhere upset, and after that we just left it and we were like, okay, even if we plan, it's not going to work out. And even in the literacy hours, I chose it to keep it like an individual space. And not go into creating workshops or structuring things, because post my conversations with Smita, Alpana and all of that, it was just a space where you come in if you need support. That's turned into a space now where people don't reach out in this space but reach out at every other time possible. And I'm still supporting them, but I'm also making sure that even if it's those 2 hours and it's not specific to that day, it's spread across the week and it's different fellows. So it's somewhere available where fellows know that we can reach out to DAF. So that's something that's been able to create, and I'm happy about that. But what made me thinking was when we decided to do the elementary workshop, it was 27th that we went for elementary blitz. We came back, we had a reflection, and we thought something that we need to give as an input is just clarify doubts, clarify the concept of literacy and how it looks like. Friday we sent out the invite. We didn't put much thought. We were just like, we have to do this. Whether it's year 1, year 2, we were still a bit confused, but we sent out invites on Friday. Monday we sat for 2 hours, we planned for the space, and Tuesday we executed it. That's all it took, like less than a week, like execution happened, and I think post that there were fellows, almost 3-4 fellows who reached out to me saying, I've created 3-4 lesson plans for writing, can you please observe, can you give feedback, can you come to our classroom. So it was very instant where fellows, I also saw Instagram or I don't know, WhatsApp posts where they were doing writing plans, like in their planning journal, it was written writing. So I was just like, it was such an instant shift, and you could see outputs within that week itself. And even the feedback we collected. So we did a very quick, like, give us feedback on post-it. So everyone was, like, again, a lot of positivity saying thank you for the workshop. I think my reflection is what we did in that workshop was not teaching them something new, but it was teaching them what not to do, right? Like just clarifying certain misconceptions which we've seen, which came up from an elementary Avishkar workshop, that we need to start clarifying misconceptions, which came up from the secondary math again circle, where even Satyam said that we need to start creating a list of misconceptions and clarify that. And I think that's what we focused on in the space, is just clarifying misconceptions, and which was very brief, very specific. These are the misconceptions that may come up. You just don't need to do these things. This is how it's to be done. And it was very crisp, clear that fellows walked out feeling very confident, where the purpose of the space was met. And also, a lot of the times you push fellows to come for training spaces. This was a space planned only for elementary fellows. And almost 6 secondary fellows came in as an option to it because they wanted to be in the space, which again, we thought there'll be just 7-8 fellows, but we had 15 to 16 of them in the space, which was again a surprise for us as to what brought them here. So that was another, and I was also thinking the reflection of why didn't I do it all through the year, and what made it happen in a week, right? I think it was a lot of learnings that came from different reflections of the training sessions. It was just the team coming together and saying it's end of year, like just that sense of urgency was so much more right now that we have 1 month, things are not working out. How do we make this happen? Like we don't have time, we just have to do it. And something that I'm thinking and taking back for myself is, why don't I have that sense of urgency throughout the year? That if I've seen something in the beginning of the first month, why don't I say this has to be fixed right now and let me do it in a month? But wait for validation, wait for people to tell you, or wait for the team to tell you, like, this is a training that has to happen. This was not scheduled, there was no time for it. We didn't know 1 month it will work, but we just did it. And we've seen like much more impact than we've seen for training sessions in a week. So I think that's just one reflection that I have strongly had, that can we just think less about will it work, will it not work, what will happen, should I ask 10 people, whom should I reach out to, other cities, this city. Can we just put down, like if it's on the thought and we know that it's going to make sense, like just people who are next to you, just reach out to them and work on it right there, like just act upon it. So that's something that I learned from this